All right. Hey there. I'm Stu Greene, and welcome to the Anything Real Estate channel, where we look at, well, anything related to the world of real estate. Right now, a regional market update and a little on how we got into the current market. Some things maybe we didn't know, and maybe a little fun along the way. So, come on in. The water's fine. Hi, everybody. Welcome back to the Anything Real Estate channel, where we take a look at anything related to the world of real estate. And again, today it is our regional market update. We're in the third quarter of 2023. What's that?
I think not.
Fourth quarter of 2023. Wow, that was fast. Coming up on the holidays here in Northeastern Pennsylvania. I'm not sure how everyone else managed to this point, but I can tell you here in this part of the state, it's been quite a ride. Before we talk about where we are right now, I think it makes sense to do a quick synopsis of how we got here.
Well, how did I get here?
So this first regional market update is going to be a little longer. If you don't care about the history, just skip to the end. Well, we all remember what happened in 2021 and 2022. It's still pretty fresh in our memories at this point, unless you're watching this years from now. So, we had a pandemic, and we had panic, which caused subsequent business closures, event cancellations, and new work from home policies, plus other major consequences, all of which triggered a deep economic downturn. In response, the Federal Reserve, affectionately known as the Fed, stepped in and, along with employing a tool honed during the Great Recession of 2007 to 2009, committed to keeping rates low until the country was, quote, solidly on the road to recovery, unquote.
We often talk about the Federal Reserve using a bazooka to tackle markets and the economy.
We started 2020 with an already low rate of around 3.72, and then with a few fluctuations, the rate continued to drop as the pandemic continued, and the Fed employed multiple tactics to keep the rate low for borrowing, which many people referred to as basically free money. This all set up the perfect storm for what happened next. And what we're talking about is what happened in the real estate market because of what happened with everything else. People started moving away from places to where they thought it was better, which exponentially altered real estate prices in most places, some more than others. Competition for property, increasing prices, historically low mortgage rates. Okay, so here we are still catching up. Much higher rates, but still not the 80s. A very expensive time to borrow money, where the interest rate hit as high as 18.4%, though generally it did decline from there and reached a moderate 9.78% by the end of the decade. Now, when rates are high and there are more buyers than sellers, we are said to be in a buyer's market. But when rates are still attainable and there are a lot more buyers than there are available properties, we end up where we are now, smack dab in the middle of a seller's market. Where competition for properties drives market price. This type of market has a high absorption rate, which means that the faster homes are sold within a specific time frame, the higher the absorption rate, which means high demand for properties. And this can also potentially drive up the price of houses in that area. Again, good for sellers, not so good for buyers. But arguably most sellers are also buyers somewhere else by default. If you haven't personally experienced some of the effects of the real estate market over the last few years, let me tell you, it was something else here in Eastern PA.
Are you not entertained?
Before we discuss the local market, let's just have a look at some of the national level info that affects all of us. It's obvious when you look at the overall trend, mortgage rates were generally on the decline for years. And though, of course, we had continual periods where it fluctuated, the rate stayed at a generally attainable level for nearly 20 years and continued its downward momentum. Why it dipped and rose over the years was based on a lot of different factors. Most recently, we had a period of what many called free money, and a great time to refinance and buy properties. During the pandemic, when rates fell to levels that made investors and builders drool, and home buyers rushed to refinance like, okay, maybe not that bad. But as is the nature of all things, the pendulum has now swung the other way, but hard. And it's unsure when or if we will see rates like that again. While the market is slowing seasonally, October's home sales and listings were much more in line with 2022 levels. There were 18,331 new pending sales in the Mid-Atlantic region last month. No, not Mid-Atlantis, Mid-Atlantic. Thank you.
Is it me? It's him, right?
So, 18,331 new pending sales in the Mid-Atlantic region in September, just 3.2% lower than October of 2022, and the smallest year-over-year difference recorded in 2023. Home inventory levels have been steadily declining, and now, here's the thing we've been struggling with, and we're all sick of hearing it and saying it. I'll still say it, but I don't like it. We're in a historically low inventory period. Ugh. It's like nails on a chalkboard. No. Okay, on to the regional market report for Berks County and the Lehigh Valley.
Excellent!
Wow, that was exciting. Okay, all this is leading up to where we are right now, so let's get down to it.
Get down, Funky. Okay, get back up here.
As of the end of October in Berks County inventory numbers have fallen again, now down another 9.1% from October of last year. This is a trend that has remained fairly consistent this year. We started with some pep in our step in January when inventory in Berks County was up around 15% over the same period from last year and soared to up 31% in March.
Yay! A bad girl.
But in the middle of summer, we started to decline month by month, double digits from the previous year. So in retrospect, where we find ourselves now, down just 9.1%, feels a little bit better. But what does it mean? Well, simply put, we still have too many buyers for the amount of properties. But the competition is less stiff now than it was earlier this year and certainly last year. Still pretty good news for homeowners looking to sell, but not so great for buyers as the median sold price is up again nearly 13% over last year, which means home values in general continue to rise. And as we have been seeing lately, the homes are staying on the market a negligible 2 days longer. And in the Lehigh Valley, we are in a similar situation, though some numbers are a little more drastic. Inventory is down a huge 31% from October of last year, making the home search an ongoing challenge. Couple that with the number of houses being sold, down almost 13% over last year, but that just makes sense with the lack of inventory available. On the plus side, the home prices are up a moderate 5%, which means we may be leveling out a little on prices, especially since the prices were up around 5% in August and 8% in September.
And now the end is near.
Okay, so why was the real estate agent in counseling? Well, he couldn't get closure. Okay, thanks for watching. I do appreciate it. I hope that you had a little bit of fun and maybe learned something along the way. I know that I did.
See ya. Hope you had a good time.
That's all for now. From me and anything real estate, put good things out into the world, and good things will come back to you. And remember what Will Rogers said, don't wait to buy real estate. Buy real estate and wait. Till we speak again, be well.